الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. يا ربي لك الحمد كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله، بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الغمة وجاهد في سبيل ربه حتى أتاه اليقين. فاللهم اجزه عنا وعن والدينا وعن الإسلام والمسلمين خير ما جزيت به نبيا عن قومه ورسولا عن أمته. اللهم احينا على سنته وتوفنا على ملته وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا. ثم أما بعد, my dear respected brothers and sisters, the past week Muslims around the world were talking about what happened in New Zealand, and I think we should ask ourselves here this question: why are we concerned about something happened thousands of miles away from us? I've attended many meetings here at IAGD and Auckland University with students and Imams Council, with Catholic Council, in the past week, talking or reacting to what happened in New Zealand. And the answer to this question is that because of course, globalization, which brings a lot of good and also a lot of evil. It's proven that globalization helps people exchange ideas, but also evil ideas. And I just looked at or compared two evil ideologies. One considers Islam to be its point of reference, and the other is what's known as white supremacy or white nationalists or alt-white or the right or whatever names they have. And I found it interesting, at least, that there are a lot of similarities between these two evil ideologies. Their motive, their goals and objective, their technique, their violence, and their views of others. And just to try to share with you some of my findings briefly. ISIS or Al-Qaeda or all these evil, extreme, violent groups, although they claim they are Muslims and working for Islam or serving Islam, they are wrong because simply they contradict with the sources of Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that if you save one life, it's as if you save the entire humanity. And if one innocent person is killed, it's as if the entire humanity is killed. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. This massive shooting and indiscriminate killing of innocent people, men and women, is absolutely against Islam and basic Islamic teachings. And similarly, these white supremacists also contradict with the very Western liberal values that based on the principles of freedom and equality, democracy, constitutionalism, and citizenship. Because they consider themselves to be supreme to others, and others are enemies, because eventually, according to so many studies and statistics, that whites will be minority in the future, 2050, and some said before, after this. And this is the source of panic. So ISIS and this extreme group, they call themselves Muslim, they contradict with the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, and that's why the mass majority of Muslims condemn them. And these white supremacists also contradict with the Western values and with the American Constitution. Here in America, they contradict with the American Constitution that says clearly that we hold this truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by the Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They consider the American Constitution to be obsolete, old, and as some of them wrote in 2016, that's obvious that the Constitution has not only failed completely by its own state purpose, but also by being used as means of handcuffing the right. So, very obvious contradiction with white nationalists and the American Constitution that consider every citizen as equal to others, and of course the concept of equality in the 14th Amendment that says that everybody should be treated equally before the law. Though the concept of equality, they reject the concept of equality because we are not equal. The white race is more superior to others. So you can see this contradiction or conflict between these evil ideologies and Quran and the American Constitution. They both consider themselves superior to others. There's a big difference between being proud of your religion and being arrogant or look down at others as less human. Yes, we believe and in Islam, we practice Islam. Islam is our identity. We find guidance in it. We are proud Muslims. But Islam never taught us that you should feel superior to others. Because if Rasulullah ﷺ himself had this attitude, he wouldn't have worked very hard to invite people to Islam, to be very patient with their ignorance and mistreatment. Islam teaches us to humble ourselves to our fellow humans, to show people the beauty of Islam nicely and kindly. ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن. But you can see clearly in their literature the way they deal and interact with others. They are supreme arrogant. Not only against non-Muslims, but all Muslims who don't believe in their ideology. And it's ironic that Muslims have been attacked by these two evil ideologies. Extreme ideologies that claim to be Muslim, they attack us as liberal, secular, Americanized, westernized people who are not Muslims, and therefore it's okay to go and attack these people, that's you and I. We are not Muslims in their views. The entire world is not Muslim in their views. You have to be either with us or against us. Same thing, of course, it's so obvious that white supremacists, even from their name, nationalists, they are so arrogant because they believe that they are superior to others. And I find it also interesting that the techniques they use to recruit people, to spread their evil ideologies, it's almost identical. Now both are using the sophisticated technology, internet and social media to promote their ideologies, but the bad news is that they find followers. And most of these followers are youth, young people, who are full of passion and enthusiasm. And when this passion comes with ignorance, this is the formula for disaster. I've seen this over and over and over again. People are enthusiastic and ignorant. And this ignorance is used or filled or replaced by misinformation. As this guy was quoting history, and also these extreme groups that call themselves Muslims, they also misquote our history, the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ and of the Quran. And they fill this vacuum of ignorance with misinformation that they speak out of authority, religious authority here and racial political authority there. And when you have these young, passionate people, ignorant, filled with misinformation, of course this automatically will produce fanaticism. And the basic DNA of fanaticism is that we are absolutely right and everybody else is absolutely wrong. There's no other side to the story. And this obviously will create hate. And this is the key word in these two evil ideologies, hate. Filling people with hate. The hate that led them actually to dehumanize others. Dehumanize people. A pseudo-speciation, as the sociologists call it. That these people are not humans. They are not humans. Then therefore, just like insects, you can just kill them and don't feel guilty, don't feel, don't feel any compassion about them, the fact that they're women or elders, or children. They're all insects, just kill them and be happy. Don't feel guilty. And this shooter, actually, as we have seen, that he was listening to particular music before he started this heinous attack. And this music actually is a song that played by Serbs at the time when they were killing Muslims in Bosnia. And part of these songs actually says that get rid of the kebab. Kebab is a famous meal that refers to the Ottomans or the Turkish people who brought Islam to Bosnia 500–600 years ago. Kebab, they're calling kebab. Just get rid of the kebabs, they're not even humans. This is what the Nazis actually did to the Jews and others. They don't consider them to be human, so therefore it's okay to kill them, it's okay to torture them, it's okay to rape them, everything is okay. And that is the danger. When you have these uncentralized movements everywhere in the world and spreading hate, and this hate grows to the point where someone think of doing what this shooter did. What's even worse is that many people actually consider him to be a hero. And the same thing also with ISIS and similar groups. They praise those who go and kill as many people. The more you kill, the more you are praised. That's how evil and how bad these ideologies are. I cannot imagine how would someone go and just go and shoot everybody. And the first one who saw him said, "Welcome, brother," and he shot him. There is no feeling, there's no mercy in his heart. No consideration to anything. And we have some community members here who have brothers or family members, actually, some of them were killed and others were saved, alhamdulillah. So it is very ironic that Muslims are against these two evil ideologies. And we are the first people to call all these terrorist or violent extremist attacks as terrorists, and we call them criminals. And we, alhamdulillah, a very good record. So many press conferences, articles, public statements we made over and over and over again. But again, we are attacked by both sides. Both consider us enemies. ISIS do not call us Muslims, and many Americans consider us supporters of ISIS. So this is our fate, this is our situation, and we have to deal with it sincerely, and we have to deal with this with strength and clarity. That we call evil, evil, regardless of who is the victim and who is the perpetrators. We have to be clear about this. But we also have to be clear that when hate speech and discrimination becomes normal, that's a source of concern to everybody. Because not only Muslims suffer from these white nationalists. I forgot to say that both ideologies actually like to use conspiracy. They like to create conspiracy. As stupid and foolish as it may sound, but unfortunately many people believe in it. They are always play victims. We are the victims of this big conspiracy. And one of these white nationalists say that the filthy Jews and cooperating with the filthy Muslims to replace or to take the land of the white man. I don't know how could someone believe in this nonsense. It's exactly like banning Sharia. Sharia is going to replace the mighty American legal system. And some people believe this. 1% of the American population can easily and simply just change the American legal constitution if we assume that these 1% are working very hard day and night to do that. We're not doing that. All what we are calling for is freedom of religion, equality, safety, and security for everybody, not only for Muslims. In the last 2 years, the hate crimes and attacks on places of worship have been rising in a scary numbers and rates. That's a fact. That is a fact. And unfortunately, this hate is coming from the strongest politicians in the world, including our president, who is a great inspiration to these kind of attacks. And yesterday we have the Congresswoman Elisa Scopen came here and she was talking with us, and she said this is exactly what we need to do. If we have to replace this, we have to do whatever it takes to replace it, but we have to go and vote. Cannot just stay watching the news and the voting day is just like any other day. No, it's essential. It is very dangerous and wrong not to vote. Because if you don't, someone will vote for you. Not voting is a vote for someone to use your vote. And I know that some actually consider participating in political activities is, quote unquote, could be haram. Okay, tell us what is halal now, what's happening. To bring all these hateful politicians who openly and clearly spread hate and ignorance against many communities, including Muslims. There's no other way to replace them but to go and vote, to organize, to be educated, to educate others, and to work hard. If we don't do that, then we should not complain. We as Muslims do not hate anybody. We do not hate anybody. But we also have every right to defend ourselves, and we have to take this very seriously. We should not rely on others to come and defend us. We have to do whatever it takes to do our best to secure our community, our families. And the board now is working very hard to find new ways or to take more security measures to ensure our security here. Allah is our Hafiz, of course. Wallahu khayrul hafizan wa arhamur rahimin. Allah is the one who protects us. We have no doubt in this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said in the Quran, خُذُوا حِذْرَكُمْ. Be careful. You have to be careful and take, be cautious about your enemies. وَخُذُوا حِذْرَكُمْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَدَّ الْكَافِرِينَ عَذَابًا مُهِينًا. We have to be careful. We have to do whatever we can within our capacity to secure our families. And I hope, inshallah, and pray that in the coming days we will feel more secure, inshallah. Muslims are the most friendly people in America. People can accuse me of being biased here, but this is my humble experience. Wherever I go, Muslims are very friendly people. They welcome anybody at any time. But we know also that we cannot, or we have also must learn how to deal with threats like this. Islam tells us to be passionate and to be nice to everybody. But there are times when we have to be tough, we have to be strong. We have to know how to defend ourselves. There's no contradiction between these two things. We should not ever change our lifestyle. We can, or we should always come to the masjid, participate in activities. We should actually come to the masjid more than before. I heard that last weekend, the weekend school number went down. And the youth activities also Friday, the number went down. And that is not the answer. The answer is to come more, to be more vigilant, to be more active, to work together as a community, to find ways to educate people about Islam and to secure our community. We should not be panicked, but we have to do what we can, and including if you see something, say something. Every one of us should be responsible. If you see someone who does not belong to the community or is acting suspiciously, then you have to act. Don't assume there is a board and there are security people. You have to take action. Go and tell them, how can I help you? If you see people are going around and in the time of prayer and they're outside, you have to do something. If you see something suspicious, you have to act yourself. Every one of us should be responsible for the security of the group. The job of everyone is the job of no one. So it should be, in fact, our individual responsibility to do something. Don't rely on others to do the job. Otherwise, nobody will do it. If you don't do it, no one will do it. We need to keep this in mind. Brothers and sisters, just talking again about participation. Inshallah, today we'll have our Seerah conference, and it will be geared towards the concept of love and hate and how to view others So inshallah, I highly recommend that the whole family comes, inshallah, tonight after Maghrib and tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. So today and tomorrow, tonight and tomorrow, inshallah, we have 2 days conference. We have good speakers and hopefully they will inspire us, and we may have a good discussion with our speakers and talk about the contemporary challenges and how can we overcome them. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق والمرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم، وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. عباد الله اتقوا الله واطيعوه، إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. اذكروا الله يذكركم واشكروه على نعمه يزدكم ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. اللهم إنا نسألك رزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. اللهم أصلح لنا ديننا الذي هو عصمة أمرنا، وأصلح لنا دنيانا التي فيها معاشنا، وأصلح لنا آخرتنا التي إليها معادنا. اللهم اجعل الحياة زيادة لنا في كل خير، واجعل الموت راحة لنا من كل شر. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث فأصلح لنا شأننا كله. اللهم لا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين ولا إلى أحد من الناس يا رب العالمين. اللهم احفظنا بما تحفظ به عبادك الصالحين. اللهم احفظنا في أموالنا وأبداننا وأولادنا وعائلاتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم زدنا من فضلك ولا تنقصنا. اللهم أعزنا ولا تذلنا. اللهم كن لنا ولا تكن علينا، وانصرنا ولا تنصر علينا، ورضنا وارض عنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم استر عوراتنا وآمن روعاتنا. اللهم احفظنا من بين أيدينا ومن خلفنا وعن أيماننا وعن شمائلنا ومن فوقنا، ونعوذ بعظمتك أن نغتال من تحتنا. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. أقم الصلاة.